Super Mario World, week 305, quintuple jump by maxxxtakeover. In this level, you can quintuple jump. Reload your jumps. Reload your number of jumps by stepping on solid ground. Quintuple jumping's a lot of jumping. Oh god, it's just Flappy Mario, isn't it? Wait, what? How do I get out of this? Oh, there's more. There's a lot more. Alright. Try to Juice to make a level again. She was learning important at one point, but don't think it's her thing. Yeah. Interests wane with time sometimes. Alright, well this is fine. I can come back around. This is an odd Romhack Races level. Quintuple jumped Mario. Yep. I beat Jump, though. I'm still very... Maybe I wasn't supposed to go there. Maybe I'm supposed to go down here. Oh, I got the moon. Oh, and this is Preview 2. Oh, this is smart. Also, Chrono Trigger music, I just realized. Are these... Okay, no, these are not motor control jumps. I did play a platformer that had a triple jump as the default jump, and I'm like, that's weird. And then later there was a power-up to give you a fourth jump, and I'm like, that's weirder. Ah, I can still go... Okay, let me pop that open in a tab so I can remember it later. Yeah, that looks right. Lemmings are weird. That's another series I think would have come back. Like, that's a game you could play pretty well on a tablet. Or your phone. But... Nope. Oh, that reminds me. I saw this casual game. And, at PAX. And it was in the worst location. It was amazing how bad of a booth location they'd given them. It was right next to a stage where they were doing a fighting game tournament. And so this lady's trying to tell me about her game, and I can barely hear her. I felt kind of bad, because it's just a really lousy spot. They did something different, like, compared to last year, where the entire expo was in the old conference center, convention center. And expos were, like, you see all the new games and stuff. Like, people have their game demos and things. There were a few game demos on the other side, but mostly it was just like board game stuff. PAX doesn't even have an artist's alley. There's a small number of artists that attend, but usually like to sell specific things. And then there's Bill Amend. Bill Amend just shows up everywhere. I don't know why. In case like you want to talk to the guy who makes Foxtrot for some reason. He's there. I swear he's at every single PAX I've ever been to. Including the one I went to on the East Coast, which makes it even weirder. Like, maybe when you're a comic book guy, you can just get away with that, but I don't know. Or not even comic book guy, newspaper comic guy. Dang it. But yeah, due to the split, you have to spend a decent amount of time walking outside to go to the newer convention center. And that takes some doing. The one where there's a ridiculous bathroom sign. The bathroom signs in that place are ridiculous. The bathrooms are nice, but the signs are ridiculous. The handicapped one is just so good. Flee for your lives, wheelchair users! The toilets are coming! It's not good signage. There we go. Probably... I needed all my jumps. Did you finish making the colorway for your card game? It's 8 colors aware. Interesting? What about which thing? The signage? Look. Tell me what this indicates to you. I guess to put it on, there's a Twitter post. I don't know if I don't... Yeah, direct link should work, unless you're in Brazil. If it doesn't work, let me know. I can send you a Discord link or something. But I'm curious about your card game. How you doing, Zuccotti? Yeah, the signage is wacky. It's just what it is. It is wacky signage. Like, I know what the intent is as a normal human being, but, like, it definitely does not look... That is not what I would... Yeah, it's just not good for what it's supposed to be. The rest of the Expo Center is nice. Like, it's well climate controlled. It's got good views. It has cell coverage. But, like, it just has some weird problems. It also has the hole, which just is a giant hole in the building that goes all the way top to bottom. Which is cool. Ah, dang it. Yeah, no, it's really bad. The signage. The whole thing is kind of dumb. I read a big sign about it, and I realized that they were trolling some people with these because PAX has these rotating signs that have, like, useful information and unuseful information on them. And I realized that one of the signs was trolling people to have to read the documentation about the hole. I don't like that drop because you can't see it coming. Gray, white, orange, red, purple, blue, and green. All right. Those seem like some good colors. Those are some colors I know. No octarine. Which is honestly for the best. But yeah, because the Expo is divided up this year, or it isn't divided up, it's all in the old building. They gave some people some really shitty spots. And it just felt like the whole place, the Expo, was just way more crammed than it needed to be. And honestly, the place that was taking all the space the Expo was using before wasn't being well utilized. Like, it was a giant area for free play, like D&D, and there just wasn't that much demand for D&D. And if people are playing board games, they're playing on the second floor, not on in the basement. So I don't really know what their intent was, but that would have been some nice Expo space. Your favorite color? Color-wise, it is represented by quartz, marble, sunstone, garnet, sapphire, and jade. Ooh. Shiny. Especially the sunstone. Okay. I probably can make that in one go. I think I have to make that in one go. This is more of like a puzzle level than a Kaizo level in some ways. Oh, maybe it's indicated I should do spin jumps there, because that would make it a little bit easier. Because of lower heights. Yeah, that's probably the smart move. And we wait. Kick. Dang it. Oh, wait. Oh, oops. Oh, your jump type isn't decided until you run off the cliff. That's interesting. I hadn't considered that. That does make sense, though, because you haven't touched jump yet. Huh. But yeah, there were a few in, like, the really big Expo area. Like, Nintendo had a big area roped off. The Five Nights at Freddy's guys had a big area roped off. Genshin people, Hoyoverse or whatever, had a big area roped off. And then there were, like, a few tiny indie things interspersed where they could find space, along with, like, Alienware and other things. And those people kind of got hosed, because, honestly, they just weren't close to other indie games that would keep people interested in staying in the area. You know, if they were looking for indie games, which... You're not looking for indie games when you're over there, except, I guess, the Battle Block Theater guys. But what's weird to me is Behemoth just doesn't seem to want to make a new game. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, well, I'll see what I have to do now. But, like, they've definitely been resting on their laurels for a long time. Don't get me wrong, Castle Crashers is cool, and the fact that it's getting, like, DLC now is bizarre. Cool, but bizarre. But I just get the feeling that they'd be better off if they just finally made some new IP or released Castle Crashers 2. The Crashening. Or Battle Block Theater 2. The Double Blockening. I don't know. Never finished Battle Block Theater, so I can't tell you what actually happens. Me and my little bro started it, and then we actually ended up coming to blows a couple times. Because we were using things to screw... We kept choosing powers that would screw over the other guy. Like the ice bubbles. Those were a great way to murder your fellow man in that game. Which is ostensibly supposed to be kind of a co-op thing, but it's kind of the class of co-op that Battletoads is. Where you can easily not be cooperative. Did also decide this would be the first time I actually went to one of the larger booths. So usually I just stick with, like, the small indie things. I don't care that much at PAX. But I tried 2 games that were at larger booths. One was the Sword Art game, which... It's okay. It's a Sword Art game. It's exactly what I was expecting. Big open world type thing, because, you know, Sword Art Online is an MMO game. It's an MMO anime. And you hit things with a sword if you're Kirito, and you hit things with a sword if you're the other guy, and or the girl, and you hit things with a gun if you're one of the gun girls, and etc. I played around, I beat the boss. That was okay. The other one I was just confused about. I thought it was an MMO, but I think it's an MMO about dressing up and fishing. I don't think you actually fight anything. And every time you do something, your entire, like, character's outfit changes. So, like, I was so confused when I pushed the mouse button down, I'm like, why am I a different girl now? And no, just, she's wearing a green outfit now, because that's what happens when you click the mouse button. You do a double jump, she turns to a blue outfit. Why? Because that's what happens. You click right click, she switches to a fishing outfit. Why? I don't know. It's one of those, I get the feeling this is definitely not a game for me. I think it's like supposed to be a game for people who play Genshin but don't actually like combat, but I legitimately do not know. But they had a huge booth and people were like lining up for a while to get into it and really wanted like the swag involved. There was one girl there that was playing before I was, and she was incredibly excited to get the plushie object of some animal blob thing that I have no idea what it is. So, no idea what's up with that. Dang it. Yeah, nice thing about the last day is it's just easy to get access to some of the games you just couldn't get close to earlier. As everyone slowly leaves the building. But yeah, around like 5:50 I was done. Which is good because that's when it closes. When the enforcers start enforcing. Love Meat is a spin-off of some other popular media and feels like from another dimension if you lack context. Oh! I did get one of those. There was one. I don't know if I talked about it yesterday, but there was a spin-off of an Atari 2600 game. I could have played it. No, actually I couldn't have. It wasn't... whatever. I probably could have played it today. But I'm probably going to give that I'm probably going to play that demo when I do the PAX thing, because it looks interesting. But it makes no sense as a sequel. The first one was a space shoot-'em-up. And this one is a cyberpunk hacking game. Metroidvania. With a girl that looks kind of like impossible in terms of how she's dressed. But it was confusing. Quartz is colorless like machines, steel and other inanimate objects. Marble is for light-themed stuff like angels, heroes, church. Sunstone is for rocks, earth and desert-themed stuff. Garnet for fire and electricity and heat. Sapphire for wind-themed stuff. Jade for plants. And amethyst, which is wind color. I like purple for wind. That's a good call. That's a good call. But yeah, I'm still sorting through the spreadsheet. And it turns out, unfortunately, I found out that one of the exhibitors lied to me. They said that there was a demo of their game available on Steam, and there wasn't. I checked. On the bright side, they have, like, apparently the way this worked out was it was originally a Game Jam game that they liked enough they decided to try again and make it a proper release. Fuck. Yeah, no, this is already over. Which is cool. And it's still downloadable from itch, so got that going. if I wanted to do that. And that one was actually really good. It was clearly like Celeste Core. I just can't get mad at a Celeste Core game. Got delisted? I don't think so. The game's still up there. It's just that they don't have a demo. I was told they had a demo. A public demo. There was like a, click here to get news about our next closed beta. And I'm like, I don't want that. I want the demo. Happened in a couple instances. And a couple other things just don't have public demos yet because honestly, they need to put some more work into it. Or they're anon and therefore he wants to polish it to an ever-living, beautiful shine. Or in this case, more accurately, just make it so people don't get confused at certain points, because you can get easily confused in Impulse if you do not understand the right things. And the goal of that game is to make Kaizo-level gameplay accessible to all sorts of people, and therefore it needs to be accessible and not confusing. We also... because he's playtesting his own game, he tries to find ways to break his muscle memory. And so he's been playing on a keyboard with his hands switched. So using the right hand for the arrow, or left hand for arrow keys, right hand for the other ones. And rotating the gamepad around various ways so that he's playing in weird configurations, such as, quite literally the gamepad is facing away from him while he's playing, which I think is hilarious. He was trying to do a one-handed run when I was there, and I made a suggestion about whether or not he could do something. He's like, no, we don't have that implemented yet. Because he didn't have that implemented yet, so he wouldn't be able to use it. Simply good testing. I don't think Doom had to be tested that way. I think it's amusing testing. But, yeah, I know it's cool. If I have a chance to see his game or meet him, I'd definitely take it. It's one of those things that I wouldn't be surprised if, like, someone at the next GDQ happens to have, like, a build that they're allowed to show off to people. I would not be surprised. But we will see. I don't need that extra jump. I could use a jump there. There's something about the quintuple jumps that just doesn't work right for me, and I burn one jump here. See, like, you can do that with one less jump. Rather than play any of the oodles of retro games, look for more rhythm games to play on the Abernic. Ah, gotcha. That was also discussed, was treating Impulse as a rhythm game, which is technically possible. It was like, there should be some sickos out there who will play this as a rhythm game, because there is like a DDR-ish interface to the right showing you what the ghost is doing as an input display, and you could totally treat that as a DDR thing. DDR stream, and if you're good enough at DDRing to take in 8 inputs at once and put them into practice, I mean finger DDRing in this case, though the idea of DDRing the thing is possible. There was also discussion of beating it on a DDR pad and a power glove. I'd love to see someone actually do something reasonable with the power glove there, that'd be great. Oh, Wiimote would have been great. That would have been... No, that probably wouldn't have worked. There's not enough buttons. The game really does need 8 buttons. Just because of how it works. Rhythm gaming on the Power Glove. One of the few times was probably not terrible. I don't like this part right here, because you just can't see that coming until it's legitimately too late. On the Kinect, that would be amazing too. Too bad they don't make those anymore. But, like, I could easily see a weird challenge run of Impulse getting into GDQ, no questions asked. Already screwed it. Well, Yeah, I have. Like, once it's out, I could definitely see it going to GDQ, because it's a visually impressive game to watch. Like, people just stopped and watched it. Like, once you understand what's going on, you can appreciate it a lot more, but it is a pretty awesome looking game with regards to how its aesthetic works and everything. Works with the game. There we go. Dagnabbit. Oh, I should have quintuple jumped. I could have saved it. Good access for your shoulders to put both your palms on the side of your head above yours and crush your head. Oh, good to know. How you doing, Abe Lincoln? Talking packs and other things. Since I was at PAX for the better part of the weekend. And I guess week so far. This Friday and Monday. It's a lot. Chillin'? Nice. Scanner's exploding head gif. Like how it's where everyone immediately goes when they're talking about exploding heads. It's always scanners. I've never even seen scanners, and I know it's all about exploding heads. Somehow. Yeah, I should have burned one. Well, streaming modern games is overrated. It's really challenging and annoying. You have to, like, hook up your capture stuff right, and, like, hope your OS is good, and the game isn't gonna fuck with you while you're capturing things. No, it's way better just to stick with retro games. You may think I'm kidding, but I'm really not. It's a lot more challenging to stream one of those just because of various constraints I find. Depends on the game and setup, yeah. I mean, my setup typically when I need to stream a modern game is I'm playing on my MacBook. Oh dear God, I'm playing on my MacBook. And therefore, everything is annoying and terrible. Here's my old MacBook that could work. See, exactly. It's so much easier when you just let the one thing handle it. Streamed Dark Souls games from Steam and it wasn't a problem. I mean, I did it. It just took some doing. I mean, most of the issue with modern games is you really need to work on, like, sound balance. Whereas with the SNES, or in other systems, I basically figure out a reasonable decibel level and I call it a day. And it mostly works. I think Final Fantasy V is a little bit loud, but, like, pretty much anything else I played is around the correct loudness. And in the case of Final Fantasy V, I think the complaints I get might also be because I'm playing with squiggles and we have to do a different mic setup for that. I did play another Crab's Treasure, which is Dark Souls, but you're a crab. It's hard. Crabs aren't very good at Dark Souls. Oh, I keep forgetting. Like, I got through a good chunk of the tutorial. I was like, I'll fight the boss. I did not fight the boss very well. But I give full credit for at least having a really interesting aesthetic. Only a standout in the world of let it be grim, dark, and gray and medieval. It's literally under the sea, except, you know, Dark Souls. Which is silly, isn't it? Like, what determines your roll speed is actually what kind of shell you have equipped. So if you have, like, a really big heavy shell, you roll really slow. If you have, like, a medium shell, for instance, a soda can, you roll at medium. And if you have a tiny shell, say a bottle cap, because these are the ones I saw in the game, you roll really fast. But then your shell doesn't have very much HP. Because if you go inside your shell, you take shell damage instead until your shell explodes. Which you may want to do when you need to parry. Which I guess is the equivalent of, crab equivalent of parrying. Huzzah! Yeah, it felt good to play. There were some bits I found that were a little annoying because of, right, quintuple jump. just something didn't work right for me. Probably supposed to use, like, jumps there to be smart. How was I supposed to know that was there? Guess I did see it spawn. Forgot to yell filthy casual. Trying to think of, like, other really cool things I played. The hands game definitely took it away in my mind. That game was so weird and cool. And honestly, it's kind of bizarre, like, me saying, okay, now what do I do? Okay, well, if I use the coffee cup this turn... Oh, they are motor skills! Look at the NP. Yeah, I did. That's the first one I beat. Went and did that one really quick. Took about 20-ish minutes. Though Kappa did tell me about yellow shells because I was being dumb. Then I played Jesus Juice's level, and now we're doing this. It's the neat part. You don't. Okay. Yeah, it's true. But during a race, that's definitely not how it would work. Like, I don't, like, say, oh, yes, I'm serious. This would have been my racing time. But, you know, I like to look at it as a heuristic to see how well I did. And honestly, also, easy to forget, I wouldn't be trying to talk to chat and reading chat while racing either. Yeah, it was a little bit too low. But yeah, it was really fun. 50 rooms of quick challenges. A few of them are more Kaizo-y than others, and the cape bits at the end were kind of fun. Like, all in all, really good cape, really good level. I'd love to see more of that sort of thing in Romhack races. To encourage new racers and all that. Like, last time I had time to stream, during that time, I was like, okay, maybe I'll do Romhack races today. And then it was like, it's gonna be a 7! And it's all gonna be about shells! And I'm like, well, that's fun. You guys have fun. I'm gonna go do something else with my life now. Okay. Oh wait, this is the tutorial sit pipe. What do you want from me? Okay, so I hit those 3 things, get underneath the shell, and then go forward, I guess? And I got the shell. Yeah, okay. That's a single bonk shell, too, so I don't actually know what to do with that. I was thinking maybe it might be a double bonker, but nope. To a midair, nope. I refuse. What is this quintuple? I don't know yet. Like, it's very odd to me that provided a hint area like that. Well, I was way off. Yeah, jump 4 times a straight line. Yes, it does. I mean, I don't really recognize this level creator by name. It was like maxxxtakeover or something. Max with 3 X's. It's not a name I'm familiar with, but also I'm not familiar with like every Kaizo person ever, so maybe Max made like super awesome world and people really love that and I'm ignorant. Five entire jumps. Well, four entire jumps. No, five. Yeah, 5. How you doing, Mr. Millionaire? I was with this level till that point. I don't know what it wants from me, and it's decided that it no longer wants to give any indication whatsoever. And there's parts of this that are, like, not that interesting. Oh, that's bad. I went way too low. Like, this part here, like, spawning on top of that was probably fine. I know quintuple jump's cute and all, but eh. I feel like some of these parts just kind of waste time. Kind of like that, where it forces you to use the motor skills aspect. But other parts, it's like, there's no cluing. Like, some parts have cluing that doesn't make any sense and doesn't seem necessary, and other parts are just massively underclued, it seems. Like, I could see using this if you need to set up spawns correctly, but then there's no spawns here. Like, I'm just kind of confused about aspects of this level. I think I need to space up my distance to maximize. Jumps to maximize distance. That's probably true. That's probably true. And then shell jump. Like, you're probably right. But it's one of those things where everything else in this level has a weird level of indication. And then suddenly, nah, let's not bother. Don't need to spin jump there. That's true. I could avoid it. But you know what's fun? Spin jumping there. Okay. In other completely unsurprising news, YouTube still has not gotten back to me. Alright, let's take a look at the clue pipe again. Yeah. I'm hoping soon. I do not like these coins here. Those are unnecessary. They don't need to tell you to do that part, and then the next part's like, nah, you don't need coins to figure this out. You got this. Just a little bit odd. Maybe that's what this part's here is supposed to teach you, is like how to get the most out of your distance by jumping that way. But you still need to be fairly high up to pull off the jump and get over. I always you find a game on the Play Store that says this game doesn't work for your device, as it was made for an older version of Android. Yup. Android and iPhone have an awful lot of rot in the ecosystem, which is just sad. It's bad for developers, too, because developers like having a back catalog that they can just be like, hey, play this game! Alright, there we go. That does give me the distance. I just have to make the wacky quadruple shell jump. And yeah, then if you have to keep updating and keep doing all this stuff and updating your version of macOS and updating this and that. Like, you can't keep a good game just sitting there and people be like, yeah, I like playing that game. Like how much they're changing the Android thing, the games don't get ported and simply can't emulate older versions. Probably because there's little interest and enough people are willing to put up with that they're just cool with it. Not to mention it works out better for some developers who are on the ball and stick to it and stick with the ecosystem, so they probably want to like reward those developers. But I don't think Android has fundamentally changed that much over the number of years that certain APIs for displaying graphics and reading input should have changed. Like, certainly if you're dealing with, like, the internet at large, maybe for security reasons, but, like, it's a friggin' video game. It's Snake. Snake doesn't need different permissions than they did 10 years ago. How many feature-rich games are dying? Yeah, like I said, it just becomes a point where it's not worthwhile for a dev to do a new version or do a new build. Maybe they don't have access to a macOS machine anymore, or don't have the build set up anymore. Actually, losing your build setup is a frequent issue with games, because once you've made it, you're done. Closer. Honestly, I would have been a lot happier if it led with the shell jump instead of having it near the end of this. Can still be installed if you have an environment with the right version. Maybe. I mean, I'd say the right thing to do in this case, if you wanted to play those games and try to get access to them, would probably be just to, like, find an NPK and get an emulator of the right stripe and just play it. We should tell you what version you need. Yeah, that would be nice. Oh, I pressed that way too early. A similar story, the Xbox 360 store went away recently, and so now a lot of those games are lost. You didn't already have them owned, or have a way to pirate them. And Xbox 360 piracy was a fairly difficult thing to do. It's a very secure system. Be cool to stream a bunch of deprecated mobile games. Yeah, it'd be cool. I'm certain Geometry Wars will get an update someday, or get a re-release. People liked that enough, and that was just like an intern project. Like, the story with Geometry Wars was literally, they used it to learn the Xbox 360 hardware. People liked it enough, they decided to release it as a standalone game. Which, pretty cool. When you accidentally make something that people actually like. But there were a good few games that were made by, like, I don't know, XNA, that unless the developers want to spend the time porting to FNA, probably never going to be seen again, unless you already have it on your Xbox. The indie section was also kind of destroyed, which is a bummer. You can still play the ones you have. I still have Technokin Adventure and, like, the King Cat game. Honestly, the older builds of Technokin Adventure are way better than the actual polished version they ended up making. They're just way better. For a game that's effectively Flappy Bird, it sounds weird, but the OG Technokin Adventure is just way better. Freaking hard to find good indie games in the Play Store. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the point, though, right? Is like, once there's entrenched interests, they prefer that you just go play Genshin Impact or whatever, because they may actually make a percentage off of it. Oh, no tools for finding stuff? I'm shocked that Google has no tools for finding stuff. I can't believe that a company dedicated to finding and organizing the world's information doesn't want to help you find things. Yeah, Google searches of all stripes have sucked for a while now. My personal favorite is the Google internal search has always sucked. Like, it was always impossible to find documents inside of Google when you needed to find them. Source search worked well, so as long as what you were looking for was inside source code, it was fine. But otherwise, good effing luck. Microsoft had the same problem, so it's not like, you know. Okay. Oh. Nuts. Hey, recovered the shell. Gotta get way closer. But yeah. I will say, like, the really interesting mobile stuff to me isn't even, like, Android. It's like Nokia. Installing some cute Korean rhythm game? Nice. As long as it's not a cute Korean MMO, dancing MMO. Korean MMOs are soul suckers of grind. Dang it. Engage game, JPhoto. I did not. Tell me more. Like, I know there's a weird version of Doom, or something like Doom, for Nokia phones. And that would be interesting to play. I think it was like called Doom RPG or something. More interested in making certain things finding you than making you find certain things? Yes. Played a Korean MMO, Pandora Saga. It was fun. I briefly played a Korean MMO called Yogurting. It was not what you thought. It was like in a school and like pencils came to life and tried to shiv you and stuff, but it was cutesy. But it had massive grind. I don't think it stayed open very long. The main reason anybody ever checked out that game was because it had a really good trailer. And then someone took that trailer and set it to some particular song, I forget which, in a flash animation. That's pretty much the only reason anyone in the West ever even knew about it, other than the name being ridiculous. I didn't see a lot of MMOs. I don't think WoW had a presence. I know Final Fantasy XIV did, and I knew that if you, like, beat Titan or something, you got, like, a mouse pad. One of those sorts of things, but I'm not willing to stand in that long of a line. Especially when there's no guarantees that you're not going to end up with schmucks like me who have no idea what to do. Because I don't even know what the current rotation is for, like, the Black Mage anymore. It used to be spam fireballs until you ran out of mana. So we're doing this the long way. Bonk. Bonk. But I have to imagine so many expansions onward, it's changed a bit. Can't remember the name. It was a cool game that got re-released out. We're like, oh, okay. You know, if I fall off, I have a second chance. No. I'm gonna have to look up how someone's doing this, because, like, I'm missing it, and it's so far into the level. Like this just wastes time. I don't know why this is here. It doesn't use the gimmick. It's not hard. It just is there. It's very weird to me. It feels like an unfinished idea. Or be a little bit... Nope. I also get the feeling you're supposed to do this part with jumps, but, like, once you've done that trick a few times, you know how to do that trick. Xanadu next? That is definitely not a game I have heard of. The song I have. Or the musical, maybe? But certainly not the video game here. Got it. You are a super player. I was expecting a troll. Yes, and then the new stately pleasure domes and all of that. I did not have the whole thing memorized. Oh, what's up, Jesus Juice? I played your level earlier. In fact, that's what I did last time. I played Super Fuzzy. Also, for some reason, there's now a thing attached to Mario's head, and I don't know where it came from. Oh, this just does the congratulations again. While attaching a weird sprite to Mario's head. I was expecting, like, credits or something, but I guess this works, too. Thank you for the GGs. Play the game The Catamites? Catamites. That looks weird in a good way. But yeah, no, I played your level. It was good. I enjoyed it. I played this level. I was weirded out by parts of it. That quintuple jump, shell jump thing was weird. And there's some parts that just seem like they waste your time. But I think there's potential here. It's not a bad idea.